basically woven around your hand, your four fingers two at a time, in a figure 8 pattern. As you inflate this balloon, allowing it to pop in and out of your fingers, you'll get a serpentine look. Burp it a little bit, tie it. At this point, I twist off about a 2-finger bubble. That will be an ear twist in a moment. I make a fold twist for the head, twisting off the fold twist. You'll now see that you'll take the nozzle and pull it in, thereby completing the serpentine look. With my marker, I will put 2 slashes like so, 2 circles like so, small marks for the eyes, 2 nostrils. At this point, I take a heart, barely put a little air in it so the lobes stick out, tie that off so that you now have, as you put it through the face of the snake, pull the knot up to one end and the bubble down to the other, you now have the serpent's forked tongue. Secure that in your tree in any way that you feel is good. I usually just stick him in there and then turn his head so that he's looking toward the children or the adults if you're doing this for the adults. Okay, God, we're on. The very first time I did this upstairs in this church, in the children's church area, my son was with me. I started at 5 o'clock in the evening. I didn't finish until 9:45 the next morning. Around about 8 o'clock, my son went to get up off the floor. I had a pile of brown balloons from this chair about this large. I think they were a little bit old because I had had them around for a while and didn't use them a lot, and went to get a fresh bag of brown for this filming. But I had a lot of broken brown balloons, and the more they broke, the more discouraged I became. I've been learning not to let the old tapes play and let Satan, the devil, whoever, however you call him, in your beliefs, lie to me. But he would, and I would listen because of the old tapes. I've learned more to hear the voice of God, less to listen to. I hear both voices, but I know them for what they are more every day. My son went to get up off the floor upstairs, and when he did, he twisted his knee on the floor. He went to pivot like this, and when he did, he shoved a straight pin, the kind with the plastic little ball head on it, in behind his kneecap, clear to the bone. The little end wasn't on it, and it went completely in his knee. And he didn't understand what happened. Dad, I think I hurt myself. He got up and came over to me. When I went to rub his knee, these 2 fingers felt the head of the pin. These 2 fingers didn't. It slipped below the surface that quick. At first I thought it was a stinger or a thorn, and I looked for it, couldn't find it. And when I looked at the floor, I saw a staple, and I said, "Son, I bet you've run a staple up into your knee. We're going to have to go to the doctor and have him look at it." When we got to the hospital, they took an x-ray, and when I saw the straight pin, in my mind I felt the enemy say, "If you continue with this cross thing, I'll hurt your kid again." And I lost it. I didn't know how to fight. I could fight for me. I could allow myself to be put to the test. But when the target was turned on my son, I couldn't deal. We went home about 1:30 in the morning, and I sat there with the balloon nowhere near halfway done. And my wife said, you got to get up and go finish it. You got to go on up to the church. I said, I'm not going to do it. And I told her what lie the devil had told me and that I couldn't fight that. So I basically told her I wasn't going to do it. And then I felt God saying to my heart, you need to go up there and finish this for you, because you don't finish much of what you start. And you need to finish this. Not for the kids, not for me, but for you. And I told God, I said, look, if I go up there, the devil's going to hurt my kid. No, he's not. Yeah, well, look, you can do that with your kid if you want to, God, but I'm not going to do it with mine. Don't ask me again. I felt I won't say I felt him withdraw from me, but I felt the presence of the Lord recede from me. And I took a moment and I said, so be it. I actually turned my back on God. And there's a brother, I can't remember his name right now, Beatty. I remember that. I think he does articles for Laugh Maker. He asked me, he said, I saw one of your, I made rules for myself. I don't get on the computer after 10 o'clock unless it's strictly business, because it eats so much of my time. We don't have TVs or VCRs. I'm not glorifying me. It's because God has taken these things away so that I won't have things coming into my life that draw me away from him. That's all. And I got on the computer at 2 o'clock in the morning because I was in rebellion. Signed onto the internet. Here's this letter from Mr. Beatty saying, I saw in one of your videos in the background a banner that said Awesome God. Could this be the banner that says our God is an awesome God? Are you a Christian? Do you know the Lord Jesus? If you don't, could I pray for you that you come to a full knowledge of God and his Son and what he did for you? Love letters from cyberspace. Love letters through cyberspace from God. I cracked up laughing. I started pouring my heart out, typing onto the email to this brother, telling him what I was going through and how I just didn't know what I was going to do, when the realization came to me, if I allowed this lie to take root in my life, it was planted, it was taking root. If I let it take root and grow, the devil could hold that over my head. My son could be held over my head for the rest of my life. Instantly I got up. I said, I'm going to finish it. I typed, I'm getting up right now. I'm going to get myself cleaned up for church. I'll talk to you later. And I posted that letter. Got up, showered, shaved, shampooed, shot on out of the house, and came up here to the church about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Worked till 9:45, was 15 minutes late for Sunday school. Hadn't slept at all. Finished this for the very first time. And then I went to teach it at Children's Church. I'm going to put the teaching the way it happened, the breath that God put in it, because anything we do with this, unless we let God's breath of life be breathed into it, it's in vain. Unless we let God minister with this, unless we let God use us instead of us using God, it will be for nothing. Yes, somebody might get saved, but will the seed last? I pulled that